And nobody, no black politician, no black organization wants to deal with that issue. They will avoid it at all costs, even though in their hearts they know that's one of the biggest problems for black folk. We anticipate in the next 10 to 12 years approximately 8 to 6 million Hispanics coming into the United States and 41 million Asians. You have been the majority minority for 400 years in this country. You have been the number 2 population for 400 years. You're going to get kicked out of being number 2. You're going to go down and become number 4. Now, common sense, even a third grade education would tell you, if you didn't get anything when you were number 2, you all jumped ahead of me, but anyway, you can guess what you're going to get when you become number 4. So what I'm saying now is that you're going to have this massive influx of immigrants into the country that are better equipped. They don't have your legacies. They don't have your disadvantages. They're walking across the border. They're going to get a free lunch. They don't have to pay dues. But you got public policies in this country that are equating them to black folk. They're equating them to black, and what we've allowed them to do, starting in 1970, is to wrap themselves in black folks' suffering and pretend somehow they suffered along with black folk. And therefore, whatever program is created under this misguided label called minority, that they are equal to you and over you. So that's the problem with the influx of immigrants. And what they are doing is coming into the country and doing what we've never been allowed to do and we've never been bright enough to do in some senses, is to build your own communities. You got to build your communities. You see, every group that when they leave their homeland, the last thing they do is look in the mirror. They look in the mirror and says, I'm going to America. And I'm going to go to America. I'm going to find me a community or neighborhood. Or I'm going to build one with people who look like me. And so that's why you go all over this nation, where they're coming out of Asia. You will find Vietnamese towns all over California, little Cambodias. You'll find a Chinatown in every major city. You'll see the Hispanics come in. They'll build a little Mexico, a little Havana, a little Hialeah. You find little Italys, French towns, German towns, Greek towns, Polish towns, but you cannot find one black town. And we are the only people that keep trying to integrate.
That was the beautiful Jim, Dr. Claude Anderson, and that video was, you guys, decades ago, and ironically, you would swear up and down that he is really talking about today. I mean, he told no lies. Now, I have a story for everybody today that is not in the main media, and I'm sure it's not in the media because it would create a lot of outrage. Now, we know California, as well as a number of other sanctuary cities, have been providing resources like legal help, rent assistance, cash cards, and more to illegals. But we now can confirm that the state of California also just increased the funding to various programs that were created and geared toward immigrants and illegals. Now, let's zero in on the increase, since it appears this has been going on for quite some time, and it has. Now, one program in particular is called SEED, Social Entrepreneurship for Economic Development. No study was needed for this, by the way, and this program is specifically created to help immigrants open up small businesses. Now, the program offers them specific grants. Listen, grants that don't have to be paid back. Assist them with opening their business and sustaining their business. Y'all, I'm so hot, I'm tripping over the words. And ensuring they remain in business. Mentorship, trainings, access to bank capital, how to market their businesses, English proficiency, which they clearly haven't been using, and more. See, it's things like this that really make me question the Democrats and check them shields when they come with the foolishness about Trump and the Republicans. Now, the state of California has granted this particular program, listen up, listen carefully, $7.5 million. And again, has been around for years, by the way. They just got $7.5 million this year, though. So it's not new, and it's been continuously funded, but they don't want to give FBA anything. Now, they also have other programs under this program to help them with legal representation and protection for their businesses. And again, I'm going to say it again, California just increased the budget, but yet Californian lawmakers or Kamala or the Dems can't do anything specifically for FBA. But expect our vote and to include our tax dollars for programs that we don't even qualify for, but give it to others. See, many people are waking up to stupid stuff like this. And this also is what handed Trump the presidency. Now, people can deny it all they want, because I've heard many shields say they didn't want a woman in office. That's why she lost. No, she lost because of foolishness like this and being a part of an administration that think this is okay. See, people see what they want to see. And I'm going to say it again because I have to keep reiterating this, guys. No study was needed. But don't FBA always need one? But they can use our tax dollars to fund the DACA program, housing, and they can benefit off the 14th Amendment that was intended for us and pretend that they've been through what we have. But then we have other illegals or undocumented people who sit here and say that we're lazy or we come here and get further than you. This is why. And I also want to note one more thing while I'm on it. You see, nobody ain't making a big deal out of this. Anytime we mention reparations, them folks or even some of our paid off own people, they got something to say about us getting reparations or how it's unfair to do something for ourselves. And we have to be, minorities and people of color. But look, this program is specifically for them. And by the way, when I say illegals and undocumented or ungrateful, I'm talking about all the other groups, all of them. Now, Kamala came straight out and told us what she was not going to do specifically for black people. And I'm going to keep it real with you. Old girl stood on business with this. Sis said it with her full chest, but was a part of an administration that flooded this country with illegals, incentivizing them. Now, when it's time for FBA to get something, it has to be, again, for everybody, or we need to pick ourselves up by the bootstraps. Or if we even mention what's been done to us, we whining or complaining or playing victims. Hell, we are the victims. We are. I ain't lying to nobody. We are. Look at all the things that have happened to us. Hundreds of years slavery. You're still lazy after slavery, so you found a way to re-enslave us. Another 100 years of sharecropping, convict leasing, Jim Crow, segregation, all of it. Now, again, a lot of these people who always whining and complaining about us, or anytime we talk about what's been done to us, they're not saying anything. In fact, I've seen a few of them folks actually take up for a few of these illegals. I have. But they can get support like education, rental assistance, grants based on this program information, and things that are geared strictly toward them. And it's fine. It's accepted. Nobody talking against it like that. But you let us get anything for us. Anything for us, they got something to say. And oh, by the way, if you forgot what old girl Kamala said about black people, here you go. Sis said it with her full chest.
Do you support reparations for black people?
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination and segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit black children, black families, black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it, Listen, the reality also is this. Any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country.
Anyway, back to the SEED program. The program which provides tangible resources just for immigrant entrepreneurs. Meanwhile, FBA businesses struggling every day, and there's a huge loss of generational wealth. Now, since they're always whining about being included and feeling entitled to everything FBA have, what happened to the Black and Brown Coalition? I mean, why are they not sharing this? I'm serious. I mean, what happened to the Black and Brown Coalition? See? That's the one-side coalition that got them out here running from the ICE van alone. It's only black and brown when it's time for us to get something. See the difference? When they get something, it's strictly for them. Ain't nobody talking about it. There's no study needed or anything. When we get something, they whine and they got to be included. And this is really especially insulting when you realize that FBA entrepreneurs face constant denial of business loans and capital after stolen generational wealth. And many of our families have been, sabotaged and their businesses never replaced. I mean, sabotage a lot of businesses and communities legally, as well as with violence and sabotage. If you think I'm lying about the destruction, read up on how our towns and communities are sitting under not only highways, but under lakes like Lake Lanier, Lake Norman, Lake Murray, Lake Martin. I mean, just sitting right on under there. Black towns, successful ones at that. And this was done, again, legally and with violence. Now, just recently, New York's Kathy Hochul, she even created a legal fund for illegals. Karen Bass and a group called Sherla just gave them who were impacted by ICE raids money and other tangibles just because they were afraid to leave home. But when she's asked about reparations, she don't know nothing. Oh, she don't hear nothing. My bad. That's what the video showed. She sat up there and acted like she didn't hear the person asking her about it. Now, these were strictly tangibles for groups of people that they feel suffered from something, and nobody sued for discrimination, because anytime it's time for black people to get something, there's this white supremacist lawyer who always, this dude, suspected white supremacist, shall I say, always comes and sues, but he only does it to us. Chicago now has a budget deficit now, partially because they rolled out the red carpet for so many of them. But there's homeless all over that city. All over that city. Trump is not all that. He got his ways. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I like what he's doing with immigration. That's about it. But imagine if Kamala would have gotten in. The Boule felt sorry for many of these people coming across the border, but did nothing for our people who suffer the most, who have suffered the most from homelessness, high prices. I could go on, but they expect us to vote for them. I'm seeing what's being done for illegals and this group of people. I'm going to ask again. Even though I already know the answer, I'm going to still ask again because I definitely got some questions. Where are the Democrats, the NAACP, the CBC in all of this? Why don't we have a specific program tailored to us if they can do it for them? I'm just asking because the NAACP, I thought they were supposed to be for us. But everything I've saw so far lately have been advocating for illegals. These people are literally suing over the treatment of illegals, but very little effort has been given to black issues, black injustice, correcting the generational wealth gap, hate crimes on us and everything. But then again, Malcolm X told us about both parties. But people hear what they want. They haven't said anything or stood up when a group of black women got together for the Fearless Fund. And one of them folks' lawyers sued using laws that our people fought for, saying, oh, this is unfair. Well, hell, we've been treated unfairly forever. Where were you suing other people? And I'm going to keep mentioning this incident because I just cannot believe this happened and they allowed it. The CBC didn't say anything, but they quick to call out Trump for racism, but they ain't doing nothing to stop the racism that's been going on toward us. Now, I don't agree with everything Trump has done, and I'll always say that because I give both parties the smoke, okay? But I appreciate what he's doing for immigration because I'm tired of watching my vote, literally my vote, and I can only speak for myself, because that's what it's supposed to be about. You vote for who you feel like has your best interest at hand individually, and not bully other people or try to talk down to other people because they're not doing what you think they should. Okay? But I like what he's doing with immigration because it's been hurting my people. Now, y'all, all jokes aside, I've been paying attention to a lot of these construction jobs, and they've been building a lot of houses. Let me tell y'all something. I ain't never seen so many black people. Y'all, listen, I rode past a black construction worker and some other crew members the other day. It was midday lunch, y'all. I beeped the horn at them. Okay, I was so happy to see them because growing up, all I saw was black men out there. And then eventually, of course, that would change because I think they were paying Hispanics at a cheaper rate and they were coming in here. But y'all, look, I had to blow the horn at a few of them. Okay, wave at a few of them. Shout out to all my black men and women tradesmen. You know, whether you drive trucks, build houses, do plumbing, electrician work, nurses, whatever. Shout out to all y'all, okay? And definitely my other essential workers. But back to Trump. Another thing I love about Trump is he's resetting the FBA community, whether he means to do it or not. And I don't expect anything from him. It is what it is. You know, they're Republicans. They honestly don't care for us like that, you know. But hey, if they're willing to work with us and get things done, I've learned to not let my emotions get in the way because many of our ancestors didn't. And we can sit here and we can say he's racist, but hell, all of them are racist, Democrat and Republican. Okay. Didn't Lyndon B. Johnson say he'll have them N-words voting Democrat for the next 100 years? Dwight Eisenhower, wasn't he Dem? And he sat up there and, you know, did the 1956 Highway Act. JFK wasn't really rocking with civil rights like that. He changed over time, but initially that wasn't him. Okay. But it's a beautiful thing to see FBA focusing on ourselves and realizing that this program like Seeds is wrong. It's wrong when you tell us we can't do anything specifically for you, but I'm watching you do it for everybody else. Y'all, Dr. Claude been talking to us for 60 years, and it looks like many more of us are really, really, really starting to listen. Y'all know I got to say this too. Because it's always going to be somebody coming, well, what the Republicans going to do for you? Nothing. But I don't think they promised us anything. It's the people that expect us to vote for them that are funding programs like Seed that I expect things from. It's the people who we vote for 80 to 90% of the time. You know, the ones who need our vote, but so haughty and arrogant when it comes to us. But you sitting up here using resources that we fought for other people, but can't do nothing for us, even though we are the most loyal. And that's in California and all over the U.S. Now, they got programs like Seed to help these illegals with their businesses when the average black business can't even get capital or a business loan. Y'all, a week don't go by that I don't see black businesses struggling. Imagine if these business districts that I talked about before weren't torn down or messed up or sabotaged or sitting under lakes and highways. Imagine if all that wealth could have been passed down. Imagine if all the 20 million acres of land we had wasn't stolen through legal loopholes and trickery. I mean, we've been sabotaged, and there's nothing that's getting cut off by Trump and all these other people who, you know, he's pretty much doing what he said he was going to do. Now that y'all all alone dealing with this, we supposed to come help when you guys have been benefiting and not including us in things that we helped you get, you know? I mean, black people are riddled in debt from student loans. Many people can't purchase a home. A lot of people need business help, but you rolling the red carpet out for these people. Meanwhile, let's look back at President Obama, former President Barack Obama. Look at what he said when they flat out asked this man why he's not doing anything specifically for black people. And black people showed up and showed out for his behind. See, this right here, I believe, is what started the delineation movement.
Why not target the African American community? Why not say then, this is for you? This is for African Americans. If there was a banking crisis, then you target money for the banks. If there was a national disaster, you target your money for the national for disaster relief.
That's not how America works. We want to give those young people and young Native Americans like them the support they deserve. We have to invest in them and believe in them and love them.
Why not target the African American community? Why not say then, this is for you? This is for African Americans.
That's not how America works.
President Barack Obama has begun new initiatives aimed at helping young American Indians or Native Americans overcome the many challenges they face from poverty to substance abuse.
Why not target the African American community? Why not say then, this is for you, this is for African Americans?
That's not how America works. And few have been more marginalized and ignored by Washington for as long as Native Americans, our first Americans.
Why not target the African American community? Why not say then, this is for you, this is for African Americans?
That's not how America works.
Anyways, that's enough about that. You know, I get a little long-winded. I could be here all day. But today I wanted to share with you the story of Miss Maggie Walker. You see, a lot of other people have had things given to them, or they've had a little help, you know, a little helping hand. And as I stated, you know, America never wanted to give us anything, even though we're owed. And I want to share this story, guys, because she was an amazing woman who pretty much developed one of the first banks in America. And her people, us FBA, we made the bank and her successful with each other. Nobody gave us a thing. Nobody. Now, I'm going to go ahead and conclude, but be sure, guys, to like and subscribe, you know, to the Emancipation Media channel. And be sure to sign up to my upcoming website for our upcoming Black Wall Street line. More information actually coming on that soon. Guys, be sure to let's check on our FBA family and also our riders, because we do have some riders who are not FBA. Make sure, guys, we stand out this heat and we're taking care of ourselves, please. And also tell me below, y'all. Do y'all think it's cool that these other groups are, you know, getting benefits while we're supposed to just sit here and watch? Or do you think we need to lend a helping hand? Now, I'm not here to judge anybody. Everybody has a different opinion. It's all in how we say things. Y'all already know where I stand. For me, FBA that's what I'm all about. Family. You know, we don't need anybody else but ourselves. But I'm grateful for the riders. All right. So I'm going to end this video. Take care, guys. As many are aware, daily Black Americans are turned down for business loans or home loans for many different reasons. But it was even worse for our ancestors after slavery. But many refused to bow down or beg them folks for anything. Now, the early 1900s, Blacks were truly suffering. There were many, again, who refused to bow down. Meet Miss Maggie Walker. She's not only one Black American woman who refused to bow down or beg them folks for anything, but she was also the reason many Black American families were able to purchase home loans or business loans to build generational wealth, or could actually save their money and not have it stolen like our folks did with the Freedmen's Bank. Now, she would leave her imprint on one of Black America's considered three Black Wall Streets at the time, known as Jackson Ward in Richmond, Virginia. And yes, I said three Black Wall Streets because that's what we were known to have at the time, although we had hundreds of Black business districts and communities. There's a difference between a Wall Street and a Black business district. Maggie was the first Black woman to open a bank in the U.S., by the way, in which she started out in 1902 with her Black-owned newspaper known then as the St. Luke Herald, to promote and spread the importance of Black economics and ownership. After the interest and success of her newspaper, Ms. Maggie would eventually go on to establish St. Luke's Penny Savings Bank to build Black economic power, become independent, help us mobilize, and for Blacks to become self-sustaining. Now, this bank was very important because whites didn't accept Blacks in their bank and had already taken advantage of us with the Freedmen's Bank. And this made buying a home, starting a business, and saving for emergencies very difficult for many Black people. Now, on the first day of opening, a long line of Black patrons waited patiently as they could not wait to place their money in a bank that was truly Black-owned. This was something that the Freedmen's Bank had robbed our people of previously. Now, when Black patrons got to the teller desk, they were welcomed by Black tellers. Nobody was turned away from St. Luke's Penny Savings, and investors could open up an account even with the smallest amount. And it's been said that one customer opened an account with just 31 cents at that time. End of the first day, Ms. Maggie's bank had over 280 accounts, over $8,000 in deposits, and had sold over $1,000 in stock to Black investors. It was the first of many successful days for us and by us. By 1913, the bank had more than $300,000 then in assets, and by 1928, had helped 600 families buy homes. Now, by 1924, more than 50,000 members were at this bank. While other banks collapsed during the Great Depression, St. Luke's Savings survived on Black support only. See, all we need is each other. Ms. Walker didn't stop there either, honey. Years later, she opened the St. Luke Emporium, a Black-owned department store where Black Americans could actually try on the clothing, something they couldn't do in white establishments. And they could also shop with dignity and see their own people serve them. Not only was the store a success, but also provided jobs for our own Black men and women. Ms. Walker remained actively committed to Black economics, even as her health gradually declined, and until her death in December 1934. Now, many don't know her story, but she helped to prove that there is power in Black economics and nothing wrong with placing our group self-interest first. Ms. Maggie Walker, everyone.